So I'm running to Portland today. Mainly, the number one reason is to pick up my voter thing. My vote thing. Vote. That's pretty important today. Hope everybody's out there voting today. This video probably won't be out until long after the voting has been tabulated and the effects have been realized. We're not quite caught up yet. While I'm in Portland, I got a couple other errands to run. It's a giant freaking trip to get to Portland, and pretty soon I'm gonna not have to do it as often as I've had to do it up until this point. Less trips to Portland equal less gas being burned. Yeah, exciting stuff. As the winter closes in, I've had a few nights that I get kind of a taste of what little bit of the winter. Apparently it gets like 30 below up there sometimes, and one time it was like 7 feet of snow. That was in one storm. Like, so it could go one way or it could go other way. Now, there's certain things that I just don't think I can get taken care of before all that happens. It's tough because I would have to have my water in some sort of system. Like every single day I use like probably about 80% or 70 to 80% of the tank of my freshwater tank. Okay, that's every day. So every day I have to pump water from the cistern to the trailer. And if it's not freezing, that's no problem. But when it's freezing, I have to wait till later in the day until the hose is unfrozen. Well, once it gets so cold that that's just permanently frozen, I'm done, right? So what it would take to get water to be into a situation that I could, either I'd have to put the trailer closer to the cistern. That would be one option. Put the trailer closer to the cistern. If the cistern freezes, that's it for that. I've kind of got a way to keep it from freezing, but it takes a lot of energy. Where am I getting all that energy to keep it from freezing? Well, I run the generator already all night long, so it's conceivable just to do that, which I'm seriously freaking tired. Like right now, I have 4 propane tanks in the back of the truck that I have to get filled. They're not all the way empty because if they run out in the middle of the night and the generator runs out in the middle of the night and everything turns off and the batteries go all the way to 0, then that only can happen. I don't know how many times, but it's already happened. Between that and then just between the initial setting up of the system, I've discharged the batteries too far 6 times. And they work fine. They're not going to keep working fine if I keep over discharging. I have to prevent that from happening. Now, a total rearrangement of my data, right? So how I deal with all this stuff here, which is spending hundreds of dollars on SSD drives that are going to draw less power. I don't know if it's the drives or the computers, but I'm running like 2 computers, 4 drives. That stuff's all on 24/7. And mainly just because, it's better for the drives and better for the computers just to be left on. If I'm going to stay, then I'm going to need to do like some weatherproofing of the trailer. And typically that's just this insulation foam board cut into slices and then put into the trailer to basically encapsulate the bottom down to the ground so you don't have any airflow underneath the trailer. That's like spending money on a bunch of insulation shit that really don't want that kind of product. I guess I might use it for the little shack or something, like after the fact. I'd always reuse stuff. I wouldn't just throw it away. Especially all cut up into the little chunks that you need to, if I was to like build something like all the way around out of like full sheets, the full sheets could be used to insulate the roof of the structures in theory, because when you build a roof like I'm talking about building, where you look up and you can see the woodwork. Then that's where typically you'd put insulation. So you have to put the insulation on the top. And I'm gonna I was thinking about doing like earth was really what I was thinking about doing. I got a lot of earth. Find like uber lightweight insulation. Why not just build a burly ass roof? Oh, here's those logs. Super, yeah. I'm sure I could buy some of these logs. Anyway, but apparently just whole log curing is a whole other thing where the things are gonna split on you, and then once it's split, what's its strength? And compression, I guess, is I would prefer not to buy any of this insulation, right? I have a lot of dirt, but I don't want to like mound dirt up to the that just sounds like it could potentially cause some problems with the trailer. I'm most definitely not going to have a structure built by the time that winter rolls around. My power situation is lame. I mean, it's generator. The solar works awesome all day long, but I don't have enough storage capacity to make that I have too high a consumption to make that all night long. I mean, sure, I could turn everything off. Like, that is very important. Turning drives on and off, on and off. I don't like all that anyway. Then get up in the morning, wait for the sun to be enough power to justify turning everything on, waiting for it to all turn on, going through the process of passwords and everything, and get it, yeah. Not that great. Bunch of extra time doing just BS, right? So I'm gonna run my stuff, I'm gonna consume the power. I'm pretty much resigned to the fact that I'm gonna live a certain way, and when things prevent me from living to that capability, then I gotta either fix that or I've got to move. Going south is a distinct possibility for the summer. Going south for the winter is a distinct possibility. I have cats I have to concern myself with. I can't just I don't want to destroy my trailer through freezing it up. If it is super cold and generator, like, I've noticed propane tanks are forming ice on them. And like one day literally the propane tank like froze. One day, it was one morning, the propane tank had propane in it, but it froze up and it stopped, the generator stopped running. Yeah, I mean, it could go really bad. Like, propane tanks just get too cold to really be, I gotta look that stuff up. I really don't know enough about it to know if there's a working range of propane that is gonna pretty much just screw me over big time. I mean, I've already experienced the generator turning off from the propane tank freezing up. So I think that was like 28-degree night or something like that. So I kind of have a little system now. I put the generator in the back of the truck with the lid down, but the tailgate open. And then the exhaust from the generator warms up underneath that cover, and then the tank is not underneath the cover, but the tank is next to that, and so it keeps the tank, like literally half of the tank will have frost on it. It's not faced in the exposed out. And last night there was literally frost when I turned the generator on. There was frost on top of. So this is going to be a cold night. So that system keeps the generator running all night. Now when it's like in the 30s, 20s. But if it goes below, like I've been up snowboarding and that kind of stuff, but I've never dealt with like day-to-day life in uber cold. Especially day-to-day life in uber cold in a travel trailer that it does have some insulation upgrades to it, but it's definitely not built to be out in the crazy sub-zero temperatures. So at some point, I'm going to get run out of there. I mean, I guess there's a chance it's a real mild winter. It's a tough call, because if I'm there, I can get work done, and the more work done I can get, shorter amount of time, the more likelihood of me succeeding is much better. That's why this whole thing with the bank is so upsetting, because I would be so much further along right now. Light years. I mean, I might even already have the septic system in and already be dealing with like the upgraded. See, like I'm like, oh, well, I need more power to make it through the night. Okay, great. I don't even have a septic system. So why am I going to go spend money on more solar equipment to get more project, right? I also have my trash to worry about. Like, I want to build a smokeless trash and rocket incinerator that will end up totally incinerating the trash 100%, where there's no smoke, no pollution, okay? I got that to build. So I've got like a ton of things that I need to do, but I already, like, I prioritize things. Like, I'm like, okay, I've got my generator and my solar on the trailer. That's gonna be good enough power. I got my cistern out there, and I bought all the freaking hose that I need to pump the water out to the trailer. And just keeping the trailer away from the construction area is just keeping the trailer from being just inundated with tons and tons and tons of dust. Where I put the cistern at the time was where I could get it to. No, I mean, it took me weeks. If I had a little more unlimited fundage, I could potentially set up a whole water system, but I'm in the same situation. Like, I bought 90%, probably 90% everything I need for this sewage treatment. 75%. I forgot about the air pumps. Those are going to be expensive. All the pipe and shit and the plumbing parts and all that, I haven't bought all that either. So I have really no reference on how much all that's going to cost either. There's still unknown. I have to finish that project before I can start buying other stuff for other projects. And honestly, that's probably some kind of like mental problem I have or something, that I just want to finish projects before I just keep more and more adding projects that I have to do, because that's what I watch my dad have, an endless unfinished project, and it's like, God, I just don't want to be that guy. I gotta get things done, and I got this sewage treatment plant, it's gonna be it's a thing. The county is, we don't really have they're going to be like, man, or maybe they're not. Maybe there's some kind of something I don't really know about that I'm going to fall into this and everything's going to work out fine. I don't really know. But I have a feeling that it's going to be some issues, because they're going to be like, well, you have to get a permit. Well, we don't have permits for sewage treatment plant. We have septic permits, and if you get a septic system, you have to build, yada, 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 right? That's why I have but where I'm at, that's why it's the first actual project that has to do with the building something on the land. Well, other than the container things, which, that was the first project, I guess. So this project, though, compared to that project, is enormous. I mean, it's just huge. I pretty much abandoned the whole poured earth, rammed earth walls for the retaining walls, mainly because how am I gonna do that? Rammed earth is artistic thing. I guess if you had no other way of doing a retaining wall, then do some rammed earth. But nobody's going to be looking at that going, oh, that's so beautiful. I mean, it's literally the sewage treatment plant, right? So now I'm I got a sewage treatment plant and questionable walls, questionable in the minds of the people that are coders or permitters or whatever. I just think that having all that in like a concrete box is going to make them go, well, you know, if it fails, it's not going to leach. You're going to have to deal with it. And, you know, and it's like, yeah, exactly. I mean, it'll be contained if there's a problem, which, you know, it's plumbing. You know, the problem doesn't manifest unless there's like movement. Pouring concrete and concrete walls, there shouldn't be any movement down there. Shouldn't be. I can literally just call that concrete company, whatever the hell that truck. You saw it in that other video I made. The cement truck that mixes it all on the spot. Literally, they just write to order. There's not a big drum of shit. You got to use it all. But see, I have no, I'll have to be better at my calculations. But basically, yeah, get that truck out there. You know, they're just gonna pour that and it'll be done and it'll be correct. But, you know, that whole process with the cold ass weather, down in the hole, if I have some way to cover the hole, that could keep it warm enough if I keep the entire hole in. I'm also thinking about cement, not like a full poured roof over the whole thing, but like support beams. It's just all about being fancy with the forms. You can put the concrete into anything and just run rebar in it, and it can do any job you need it to do. Getting too fancy on this thing, I just got to get it done. I got to get that stuff in the ground, get the plumbing to, you know, and start trenching. One of the benefits I just realized that when it comes to how I'm building out this thing, right? Since I'm building, you know, like the first structure will be, you know, the kitchen, great room, living area, and it will have bathrooms and showers connected, right? That's it. That's all. It's one story. It's just so I don't have to think that far ahead, basically, in my design process. I just have to figure out where the kitchen is and where the bathroom. Plumb to those two spots. That's it. Super comparatively easier, like say like a normal, like the house, if I was gonna build out everything that I'm gonna build out all in one structure, there would be a ton of trying to figure all that out. I mean, just really. So the way I'm doing it, just like one thing at a time, super much easier to deal with. All right, and that wraps up that story. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace.